So what really is the cloud? What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is really a model to enable ubiquitous content, enabling ourselves for on-demand network access to a shared pool of configured resources. Boy, now that's a whole lot of gibberish you just said now there, Jim. Right, Joe? The most common question, I guess, does it work on rainy days? You'd be surprised. Most people don't really understand. It's not a dish. It's the cloud. It's what we've been using all along. We need to make sure that we can use the cloud and use it to our advantage. So let me tell you about the 5 characteristics of the cloud. First of all, it has to be on demand. It has to be self-service. This is both the nightmare of the CIO or CTO and the wonderful thing, because we can just now swipe a credit card and we have our services. What did we have to do before? We had to fill out the forms, we had to provision a machine, load the operating system. Now, click a button, fill the credit card out. If you guys aren't going to play ball, I'm just going to do it myself in my own IT department because I have the budget. So we have access to multiple different client platforms, multiple computing resources in a rapid elasticity, meaning that we can make it go into the cloud and have ultimately as much room as we want. And by the way, it has to be a measured service. Just like our utility services are a measured service. We want to make sure we can charge you for what you're using. So, as I said, I'm just going to go right through that. We all know about SAS, BAS, and IAS. Not a standard yet, but I do think it's going to be. Desktop as a service. Let's take, for example, the Republican National Convention or the Democratic National Convention. They needed to provision 5,000 or 10,000 desktops overnight. Oh my gosh, how are we going to do that? Without something like desktop virtualization. Storage virtualization. Things like Dropbox, Google Drive, Bitcasa. Those are all various services that we have to store our data, to where make it ubiquitous. Make it to where we can use it anywhere. iLabs is an example as well. EAAS is an employee Amazon mechanical. It's basically a marketplace trying to share ideas. Now, there are 4 deployments of the cloud. We have a private cloud, which I'm going to sit here and tell every one of you, you should be using. What are you talking about? I'm using my VMware server. No. You need to be writing your applications to the cloud. I'm not comfortable using the cloud yet. That's fine. I don't care. Nobody's forcing you, but just remember when you had the barcode scanner. I know when I and Joe grew up, we had labels on everything that we bought. Oh, it was 59 cents. We knew it was 59 cents because it said 59 cents on the product. Now, we trust that label. You're going to have to be able to trust the cloud. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. But if we write to the cloud using a private cloud and using a cloud connector, we can instantly move our applications to the cloud whenever we're ready to do so. We have a community cloud. Eucalyptus, as an example, provides us a sandbox for hacking, pen testing. Public cloud keeps your friends close and your enemies even closer. Now, the hybrid cloud, is it PCI compliant? Oh, we'll get to that. We think the next big thing is going to be the Eucalyptus Community Cloud. What if hacking for a community cloud was provided for distributed denial of service? There is a place in China that you can actually, like an ATM machine, take your credit card. I don't like this guy. Give me his IP address, point it in, he's down. Tell me how, I'm kidding, I'm not kidding you. Sean Bonemer is the one who discovered that and talked about it. Damla, I believe is the name of his company, and did the research on it. Unbelievable. You just simply, I don't think I would pay with my credit card, but no honor among thieves. What if hacking community cloud for distributed denial of service, for hacking or cracking password and hashes? There was a huge presentation that was given at one of the hacking conventions in Las Vegas, I think it was just 2 short years ago. And it was packed, standing room only, where they were showing you how they could leverage the cloud into cracking passwords. Physics, math, research, science, all of this is all possible within cloud. Now, here's a couple of issues here. FedRAMP. Okay, the US government says, hold on, boys, let's tap the brakes just a little bit. We want to make sure we do this right. I recently attended an INSA event where various security related issues were discussed. INSA is a premier not-for-profit, nonpartisan private sector organization for providing structure and an interactive forum. The main speaker, you may have heard of him before, Admiral Mike McConnell, former head of the NSA, and former DNI, which stands for Director of National Intelligence. He said something which I greatly fear is going to be true. He said, particularly regarding the cloud, the USA is not going to do anything to stop cyber attacks until a large attack against the country is successful. That's when we'll do something. And at that time, we're going to step in and do the wrong thing. At that time, we're going to step in and do the wrong thing. We've seen it before. It's going to happen again. Oh my God. We are a reactive people. We are not proactive. What about pen testing? Because if I have my applications in the cloud, I want to pen test them. Some of you may have been to Miami last year, not this year, but last year, in 2011, saw my presentation. Can we pen test the cloud? Well, kind of. Depends. We've got to get permission. Well, it's my application. I know, but you're sharing it with all of these people. Amazon doesn't know if it's something malicious, and they will disconnect you. What happens if you are a provider that's selling, I don't know, widgets, whatever, and your livelihood depends on it? Amazon just cuts the service off. Before you get it straightened out, it's 2 or 3 days. Oh my gosh. Rackspace, yes, you can do it, both public and Rack Connect hybrid approval in 72 hours.